Okay, so if you've been with me for a long time, you've probably heard about this car a dozen times. On my 40th birthday, I really struggled hard to try and track this thing down, because this was a car that started kind of all of it for me. I really wanted to look at American cars, touch American cars, be in American cars, whatever I could do. But unfortunately, I got myself with his valleys, and there weren't any, apart from this one. And this is what got me introduced into sort of American cars. And it was a show-winning car back then. Unfortunately now, it's come down a little bit of a long way. I'll give you a sort of full tour around it when we get a chance. But basically, this was the car that started all. This is Smooth Talker. It was built by Dave Morris. And this won hundreds of trophies. Like, you can't tell now because it looks slightly beaten up. And she's a bit of a barn find. It sat down by the coast for 10 years. And it got pretty rusty here, there, and everywhere. It's way worse than this is going to look on film. On film, it's going to look pretty good. But the more that I kind of show you around it, the more you're going to be like, oh, like, there we go. See, when you start looking at it closely, it starts to be bad. And then I can show you the rampant rust in the doors. Oh my God. This used to have a green button drill on the interior, which, if you remember the 70s, then that's what that was. It just used to look amazing. But this car won tons of interior awards. Now, well, it's been put back to standard. It was rebuilt a couple of times. It was owned by a few other people. It was sold in 1989, and I unfortunately didn't save enough paper money to buy it. It was £4,000, £4,000, which was, yeah, reasonable money for the time, but nothing spectacular for the car it was. But if I start showing you around Mustang owners, you all know what I'm talking about with this. Surprisingly, the boot floor is okay. Surprisingly. It's got a jag back axle in it. Used to be all chrome. I'll show you this. This probably represents how bad the car's got over the years. Look at that. Looks like it's just come off the Titanic. All that used to be chrome and lovely. You know. Now, oh, it needs a ton of stuff. It did run. So this car's got 390 in it. It started out as a 6-cylinder manual, I think. Grande I. And now it's a 390 V8. Used to thunder around the valleys. Dave used to do burnouts in it. Hang on. Haunted house sound effects again. She looks rough. Everything in here was chrome. Everything was chrome. The underneath here was painted green. It all had glitter in the paint and metal flake on the outside. It looked amazing. Now, well, she's seen some pretty hard times. But when I was a kid, Dave owned it. I polished it. Used to make him cups of tea. Pretty much learned how to do everything to do on this. Dave used to ask me if I was into music. I was like, no. And then next day, I had a Jeff Beck with Rod Stewart, Truth, the album was, and a Led Zeppelin mixtape, and that was the end of it for me. I was into music and I was into cars. And then he used to tape all the films off the TV, so I used to borrow all the films, and then came car films. And obviously, that was the start of my obsession. So 3,000 cars I've owned, at a guess. We don't really know, nobody knows. But now, this is the car I always wanted to own. And I finally got it back. I'd searched for it for years, kept nearly buying it. Like, it was for sale a few years ago down in Torquay. And it had been raced and chucked into a cover, and it was really bad. And I missed out on it. I told him I was going to come down with a trailer, but by the time I came down, the car was gone already. Going the other way up the motorway, which really frustrated me. Then it went to end up, I think it went to Newport, where it turned up again, and tried to buy it again, missed it. That was probably 30 years ago. And then again, and I missed it again. And then finally, my 40th birthday, I just made the decision I was going to go buy it. I was going to go and get it back. And I tried hard, but it didn't happen. And it'd been restored one more time since then. It was all black, it was shiny and gloss and nice. And now it's spent 9 years sitting outside, looking really rough. Actually, I've got some photos I'll probably include in the end of this, which will show you what she used to look like. And sitting down here is the man with the plan who actually built it all. It's Dave Morris. So where did you find it, Dave? You bought it in Belgium, didn't you?
It came from Belgium, yeah. The first owner of it, I bought it from London, from a dealer in London. It only just came in on Belgian plates. But it was just something about it. It wasn't particularly the Mustang I was looking for, but when I saw it and the condition it was in, I just had to have it.
It was brown originally with tassels and stuff,
it was
wasn't
like,
it?
yeah, it was like a bronzy brown, goldy colour. But I suppose you could call that small talk a win.
Yeah.
Because we'd done brown Draylon interior and that with a few tassels, which was the thing at the time. No drag axles or anything. It was still a 3-speed manual, straight six. But I rode about with it like that for probably the first year, and then just took it off the road and thought I got to put a V8 in this, and it didn't need any structural work. It didn't really need body work, but I just took it off the road really to put a V8 to change over to V8. But 6 years later, it came out looking
Amazing.
if I say so myself, yeah, absolutely amazing.
Everything was chromed. It just looked fantastic.
Yeah.
Western wheels.
Used to have mirrors underneath it when it was on shows to show all the axle underneath, mirrors on the inside to show all the headlining, and yeah, it was quite a.
It was an astounding car back then.
Yeah.
So Dave taught me all I know, from starting to make a cup of tea properly, all the way up to cleaning cars, being a like a above average motor mechanic, which I keep saving stuff,
Yeah,
I guess.
but I've had the fault of Ben turning out the way he is as a car fanatic, and a music fanatic as well.
Yeah, both of those things.
Oh yeah.
I'm like mini Dave when it comes to those.
Yeah.
So if you want to know where it all started, that is it. So over the next few weeks, probably the next few months, it'll start improving hopefully, and I'll catch you up to date with it, and then I'll give you the new plans for it, and we'll talk more about it as we go through it. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.